I greet you with Jesus' joy, for it is in him that I live, breathe, move, and have my very being. Today's episode is called Flourish with Ease. I am delighted that you joined Unboxed on purpose today, a podcast created for, favored by the Father Ministries. I am Barbara Arlene Fields Brehon, your host. Our featured guests will share how they stepped out of comfort zones to become unboxed. We share experiences that lead to the fulfillment of purpose, and I pray that each episode will help our audience access their authentic destiny. Our guest today is none other than Marta Checko, a business strategist and embodiment coach. She's actually in Costa Rica, which is fascinating for me here in Virginia. I am very excited that she has allowed herself to be a part of this with her vivacious self. Marta is a former New Yorker and a part-time digital nomad, whereby education and being a nonprofit professional evolved her into a multi-passionate, creative, check this out, solopreneur. Marta Checko is a visionary with ability to balance the analytics and details of programs, projects, and operations. Marta has a digital journal. She shares her thoughts and says that she's tired of fixating on these things alone. So she shares them through a weekly newsletter called Tuesday Tingle. And I love that. I subscribe and I get my tingle on Tuesdays weekly. Hi, Marta Checko. Thanks for being here.
Oh, Barbara, you brought me so many tingles just even sharing not only all that you've done with the beautiful program that you've created, but including me today and really inviting me to a conversation. So thank you so much for, sharing your energy, sharing your journey, and so excited to share some of my experience as well in a new space outside of my comfort zone as well.
I tell you, we are both outside of boxes, but we are in the same boat right now. Tell our audience how we know. Say that again.
I said, I hear that.
Yeah, tell our audience how we know each other.
Well, Barbara, you and I met together on a program that we participated in a business acceleration program and in a meeting. And I think we just connected in a quick 2-minute introduction about who we are and what's our mission, vision, and purpose. And immediately our energies aligned. We resonated with each other. I felt such warmth in not only the words that you shared with me, but your laughter. And I said, I got to know more. We connected offline or really online, but outside of a program, and just started having a conversation, learning more about each other and what we do and how we can support each other in our own growth and development.
And believe me, we have been doing exactly that, because I do look at that newsletter and get my tingle. And that's a real thing for me.
I love that.
Even talking about your flowers, talking about your travels, going to various places. But I'm going to be quiet and go ahead and get into Marta right now. So I want you to reflect on your younger years, going back to childhood and teen years, and want you to tell our audience a little bit about your passion back in the day. Where'd you live? And tell us about the life of Marta Checko when you were just a youngster.
Well, Marta Checko is a first-generation Polish-American, born and raised in New York City, and later moved to New Jersey. Went to undergraduate college in Massachusetts and studied abroad in both China and Germany throughout her education, living in various countries afterwards. As a child, I've always been multi-passionate and kind of in all the things and doing everything that I could get my hands on. I really had the privilege to embrace a musical passion, take classical piano lessons for over 12 years, thanks to my parents' efforts and support in that, and was always musically intrigued, singing either from choir to doing voice lessons after school, in high school, through the generosity of a teacher. In addition, I was also a competitive swimmer at times. So I've always been active in many different things and always trying to absorb as much as the world is able to offer and share with me. So really just being curiosity based and exploring as much as I can, that is really handed to me.
You have so much going on there. And I know that your passions spill into who it is that you are today. So give your current unique identity. Who is Marta now?
Well, at my very much core, very most inner core, I'm still a learner. I really believe that we're always learning. I'm still very much a curiosity based learner and explorer. But I've reached new levels of being able to embrace my courage, my resilience, my bravery, embrace experiences that I've had in my not only childhood, but young adulthood thus far. I'm really a creative curator of expression with a knack of not only using language to describe how I feel, but to find different ways to connect with other individuals, transcribe what they may be feeling, but not sure how to express. And I'm always looking for the next best thing to live out my next level of joy. I'm not only doing that through traveling and connecting with others, but really finding alignment with my community, and inviting new individuals always to be a part of it and to follow along on the journey and learn from each other.
I love that phrase, creative curator. And so, with all the experiences that you bring to this show today, I know that there are lots of things resonating with our young and with our seasoned citizens that are listening today. So, let's go back and talk a little bit about that joy that you spoke of. How would you describe your perfect day? Maybe a joyful moment, but what would be your perfect day?
Well, every day is an opportunity to have a perfect day, and I really believe it begins with our mindset. My favorite way to spend my day is rising and watching the sunrise, preferably with my two rescue dogs, Luna and Lola, and my partner, Johnny. I love to be out in nature. That peace and tranquility really grounds me. As someone who has a lot of earth in their birth chart, I'm very much into astrology. Having that time to sit in nature, share with a beautiful moment with someone else, have a cup of coffee next to me, can't be without that. And really be open to wherever the day takes me. A perfect day would include anything from going on a hike, to even just being able to sit outdoors reading a book. It varies and changes from day to day, and I love that I'm in a position at this point in my life and with my time, to really allow myself flexibility, and also embrace, dictating how I want to lead my day based on how I feel.
I understand how you are feeling and going through that. I begin my day as I spend time in private worship, personal worship every day, focusing on what my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ wants me to do for that day. I might have a date book, but He sets the agenda every day. And so we both flourish with ease as we center ourselves through the day. And so, because we
Definitely.
both have that passion about flowers and gardening and those kinds of things, let's look at the petals in your flower garden right now
Mm. Oh,
and
you're
get a
speaking my
better.
language, Barbara.
We want to get a better understanding of how God has helped you to flourish with ease. Have you ever felt boxed in? Have you ever felt like you were in a box, but yet a crucial time came and you stepped outside of that box? I'm going to decrease the screen and let you just talk about that for a moment.
Well, I've had more than one opportunity to be challenged in a way where I've almost felt like I've been boxed in or in a box. Not only really growing up as a first generation Polish American, there were, many obstacles and challenges, not only with language, but culturally, and growing up in a household where we did speak primarily Polish. And honestly, I feel like my parents made one of the best decisions that they did with that, because it not only allowed me to really have a grander perspective, but be challenged in learning how to manage different priorities, responsibilities, and almost obligations from society. I want to share that really, not only my upbringing, but really my own young adulthood here. I've had more than one moment where I felt boxed in. And when I made the decision to step out of the box, I had some personal trauma that I did go through with a personal injury accident. And with that, it really put some things into perspective for me, of course, with some time and processing and recognizing that not only I needed, but I deserve to have more for myself. I deserve to challenge myself in different ways that I was not being done. And it wasn't just because of where I was working or where I was living. It was really where my mindset was. A moment that really triggered that, that change in me was taking my rescue dog, Luna, and myself out on a trip, and walking into an Airbnb where the first thing I saw was an orange, like bright orange, like the sun at sunset coaster that said the word courage. And that word really resonated with me during my time there, because I had been going through some contemplations. What am I doing with my life? Where I'm going? And at the root of it, what is it that I really want out of myself and out of my own life? And so, maybe that was a time where I was looking for any excuse to escape, perhaps feeling exhausted, drained, confused in my own thought processes and where I was going. And I had to take not only I had to, but I chose to really take that a step further, take courage with action, and challenge myself in new ways where I didn't know where it would take me. And that was 5 years ago.
Wow. I'm captivated by some of the things that I remember in another conversation, which I will let you share whatever you want to. But it's just so amazing that in so few years of your living as compared to mine, that you have done so many things. You've traveled so much, and yet there are still struggles. So I want anybody who's listening to not worry about how old it is that you are or how young it is. Depends on which side of the coin you choose to look at. There is something that other people expect. And there are times when you have to realize you've got to step outside of that, step outside of those expectations, and step into your ultimate purpose. And so our podcast is designed to help our audience access their ultimate destiny and consider their ultimate purpose. There's a passion from your childhood that's trying to be birthed or has already been birthed. And so Marta's going to share a little bit more about that right now. So far, do you have any regrets about choices that you've made?
Nope.
That was a quick one. I mean, I was waiting for you to just carry on, but if that's it, that's it. It's as simple as that.
Honestly, I can, and this is why I love to work with other individuals and teams, or really individuals who are multi-passionate, who are trying to break a cycle, who really want to break out of their own barriers. We get stuck in these overthinking thought processes, or what I like to call analysis paralysis. And I'm a victim to this as well, and in worrying about what the consequence of something would be or what the results will be. And in the moments where I'm grounded and am asked a question if I have any regrets, with pure honesty, I can say no, because I recognize that everything that I have been through, that I've experienced, that I've had the privilege to really feel, see, hear, all of those things, I can't regret it because it's gotten me here, and it's been a learning step every single micro step of the way.
This is wonderful how you are just explaining our title for today, Flourish with Ease. So, what does your future hold for you as you flourish with ease?
Well, I'm open to the possibilities and opportunities, but in real terms, I'm building, growing, and really expanding my business consulting and coaching business. MC after my name, Marta Checko, MC Florecer, which florecer, for those that may not speak Spanish, it means to flourish. And really, I believe to flourish with purpose and intention. And so I'm here to not only build, but share all of my abilities and skill sets, and to embody all the different branches of who I am, and gathering the ones I find along the way. I don't believe that we have to stick to one thing or put ourselves into one box. We're allowed to navigate and travel, even metaphorically throughout life. Just because we're in one profession doesn't mean we can't be doing something as a passion and have that be a part of who we are, and do it with ease. I'm guiding, I'm mentoring other business owners and entrepreneurs who want to do it all like myself, and know that they want to do it with that sense of ease and peace. That is really custom to each individual, because we have our own way of doing things, and we deserve to have that be valued and heard and operated within. And in addition to that, and I'm really just continuing to lean into my creativity outlets, continuing to write on my digital journal, my Tuesday Tingle, which started out as a fun project, and now I just released, I think, number 58. So I've been at this for more than a year now, and I took a 3-month hiatus, and I honestly missed it, because when I started it, it was really to reframe my mindset about how I felt about the week of the day Tuesday. I've never been one that hated Mondays. It was always Tuesdays, because it always kind of seemed in the middle, not even close to the middle of the week. And it was always the busiest day. And I was like, no, Marta, Tuesdays are for Marta. And in Spanish, you say martes para Marta. So Tuesday for Marta. And I really just dedicated that I haven't yet tried. And learning along the way, because even creating a video or creating a podcast, which is all in my very, very long to-do list, it's all part of a learning experience that I'm so excited to be a part of.
And so we are going to continue to tingle together and let you think about what you wish you had known 10 years ago. What advice would you give to someone wanting to pursue a career path like yours?
If I could see, whether it's 15-year-old Marta or 5-year-old Marta, I would just hug her and say, it's okay to be, or to even feel different. And you can do anything that you want to do. Anything and everything. You don't have to try to do something just because someone else is doing it, or because someone told you to do so. Love yourself first and nurture whatever comes to you naturally. Learn along the way and get better every single day. I've always been, I'll say, an overachiever, a competitive individual, maybe even a perfectionist by some standards. I mean, playing classical piano really demands that of you. And I always expected and demanded more of myself. So had kind of a tough exterior with this incredible drive. Taking an extra class, learning a new skill, trying to advance in this area of my life, training for a faster time, and really to enjoy the process, because you can do something and just enjoy it without having to be for something. And part of that really is recognizing that you're doing something because it's a passion, you want it, and you can love that for yourself.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. So that moves me into, well, I've got to go back. You were training for a faster time. I want to know, faster time doing what?
Well, I was also a competitive swimmer, so I was literally always training.
Ah,
I remember having 2-hour practices 4 or 5 days a week, not understanding that one can kind of walk around as a teenager without feeling sore all the time. I've always had kind of this drive to go to the next thing, and that has often, I don't want to say gotten me in trouble, but it's felt like a lot of pressure, and learning to slow down, soften myself, to tune in to how I feel, and being able to share that in an effective way with others is really something that has brought me to where I am today. And being kinder with myself, loving myself. Little Marta was confused, and not just for the language barrier. Just trying to understand, how do I do this? Where do I go next? What am I supposed to do? And you don't have to do anything. You just have to do what you love and do it with passion.
I really believe that the way you express these things will help people of all ages to understand themselves and move from where they are. It's just something about being able to envision where you see yourself going and you move from where you are. And regardless of age, someone is listening who can benefit from the way you express yourself. So I thank you so much for your transparency. Let's look now into the future. Great, great, great grandchildren, these people that haven't even been born yet. Are there any pearls of wisdom that you would like to drop into the atmosphere for them? The Lord is listening, and so are they. Anything you want to share that would be a word of wisdom for those generations to come?
Well, one thing that I would love to really instill in someone else, whether it's my own great, great, great grandchild or even just my neighbor, is that feeling of being seen and heard, with the knowledge that you are never alone.
Mhm.
You are never alone in where you're going. It doesn't have to be, that you're with a partner, or, even with a close friend. You never know what someone else is going through, but you can always find a way to connect with someone else. I think so often, we can feel boxed in having to do something a specific way, and we're here to break these norms, break these cycles, get out of these boxes that we've been put into, and you can love yourself first, and have anyone that you want join in on that.
Coach Marta, well said. I know that there are listeners who want to reach out and connect with you. Would you share some ways that you want them to do that? How can our listeners connect with you? Remember, this is not only visual, but audio podcasting as well.
Absolutely. So I'm available on a lot of different digital profiles here. Primarily, I love to create content and interact with individuals on Instagram, but I'm also on LinkedIn, where I share a variety of not only graphics and posts and really tidbits. I've started a new series called, Mindset Monday, to really get our week started. And I would love to really invite individuals to connect with me through some of my writing. I write a bi-weekly newsletter, sharing insight on how to navigate challenges, nurture creative freedom, nourish growth, mindset, and strategic choices. And it's really a collective blossoming experience. So the link is should be down below in the video. And then if anyone would like a little Tuesday tingle, I would love to include some more individuals, and really have them understand how a feeling is not isolated, and how maybe we connect more than they think that we do. So my Substack is down below as well. And I create playlists along with my music. I'm developing a podcast. So I have a lot going on, and I want to impact as many people that are open to it. And so, yeah, just drop me a note or send me an email, whatever it is. I'm really here to communicate and transcribe whatever your vision is into something that is plausible and optimized for you.
Optimize it for each person. The concluding question for this experience today has to do with addressing the challenges that anyone might face that prevents them from stepping out of a box so that they can flourish with ease. Would you just give a little nugget that will help someone to prevent it? Maybe they're not having any issues, but when they appear, what would prevent them from stepping out of the box? How do we?
My own experience has taught me that really a lot of what makes us feel stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed, maybe feeling like we're not progressing in all or even just one area of our life, be it work, career, relationship, is that we put these self-limiting beliefs on ourselves. If we're open to hearing perspectives, to having conversations, and really digging deep into ourselves, what it is that lights us up and where it is that we really want to expand and flourish, it can all happen with authenticity in a way that feels good, and it can flow freely. And so be open to learning, be open to listening, share what it is you're really feeling, and absorb as much as you can.
There I go, talking behind stage, and nobody could hear, but nobody could hear it but me. This is absolutely wonderful. Marta Checko, thank you so much. You are unboxed on purpose, and you are flourishing with ease. I remember our conversation about you're not thinking that you would be a good fit. I told you you'd be a great person for this opportunity. So I pause right now to just give you a chance to say thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, your energy, for your wonderfully inspiring questions, Barbara. And really, the pleasure was all mine in being able to share this next level in Unboxed. And I really hope that whatever has been shared really can impact at least one person who wants to flourish with ease.
Sounds like a winner to me. It is a great thing that we have been together today for about 30 minutes for this episode of Unboxed on Purpose, with refreshing conversations from this vivacious young adult, sharing experiences to shape our future as well as our now. We will post our new episodes on Thursdays after 3 Eastern Standard Time on Favored by the Father YouTube channel, Facebook page, and on most podcast platforms. As we evolve, we are like the butterfly coming out of a box and allowing the Holy Spirit to advance us to immeasurable heights in the Lord. So I ask you to fulfill your purpose, bloom where you are planted, and remain favored by the Father. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye now.
In a world where faith takes root and blossoms, comes a journey of growth like no other. Blooming for Christ. A captivating exploration of spirituality and the remarkable parallels between a plant's journey and our own. Just as a seed must germinate to become a thriving plant, our spiritual timeline begins with a single decision. Through the insightful words of Reverend Barbara Brehon, this book takes you on a transformative quest. A journey of growth that echoes the stages of a plant's life. From the tender shoot of a young believer bravely facing the world, to the full bloom of faith experiences shared and cherished. As seeds of faith are sown, new believers are nurtured, and the cycle continues just as God intended. But the journey doesn't end there. As the plant matures, so does the believer, becoming God's chosen harvester in gardens of divine purpose. Reverend Brehon's guidance, rooted in scripture and wisdom, gently leads you through the seasons of your spiritual life. Join us on this journey of discovery and renewal, a journey that unveils the beauty of your faith and the transformative power of God's love. Blooming for Christ. Embrace your season of growth and let your faith bloom. Available now.